And now, the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
Hello, this is the Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillip. Just kidding. Today it's Yakov, your boy. So for everybody who doesn't know, Aaron Phillip is at a yacht cruise ship without your boy. So I took over just for today to sub in. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be here. You know, for those who don't know, I have a podcast called The Outlet to Reality, the oldest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. And today we have a very special guest, the only, the best rock star ever. Give it up for your boy, Chris.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? My name is Krister Springhetti. I'm part of a rock band here, grunge band called the Crimsons here in Las Vegas. And feel honored to be here with my good friend David here.
You should be.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. This is an honor. This is a big deal. And for those who don't know, this is actually my first time hosting the Aaron's Hour, which is huge for me because usually, you know, I'm on my house with my nachos and cheese and Slurpee watching TV, you know, but now I'm actually on television. This is huge. And Chris, I want to ask you, brother, you know, we've known each other for 3 years, almost 3 years. Long time, brother. Long time. I'm losing track.
Yeah.
You know, tell us a little bit about what got you to Vegas.
There's a lot that went into me coming to Vegas. I actually lived here for middle school when I was back in 2011, 12. We just happened to move here just because of my dad's job. And overall, we were here for about a year and a half, and then we moved away, actually. And I went to go to high school in a small town called Geneva, Illinois, in Chicago. That's how we're both part of Chicago, you know, got to represent. And then I just ended up coming back here for college and, just to finish up school here. And then I started music here, and that's how I got here. And I've been staying here now 6 years now.
Ooh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, guys, I have to tell you, this man right here, I got to be honest, very inspirational. Look at this, 23 years old, a father, a young man, and he's booked Friday, Saturday, Sunday with shows. Now, tell us, brother, how are you able to balance? Because I can't do that without coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Without falling over, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's just a lot of dedication. And, you know, overall, I just have my weeks planned with my calendar. And I make sure, you know, I have time for everything I need. You know, I work. And when I'm not working, I'm watching my daughter. And when I'm not watching my daughter, I'm doing schoolwork. And then weekends, I'm performing. And so I make the time for it. And I'm always writing songs, whether it's in the car or just at home. But I always make time for it, and music is a big passion of mine. So, I just make the time for it. I make the time for everyone in my life, and especially my daughter, and I'm doing it all for her. So,
wow, look at that, ladies out there. That's a good man right here. You know what I'm saying? He's there for the family. You know, you gotta put them first. That's a beautiful thing, brother. And I gotta say, you know, with your dedication, you know, being persistent.
Yeah.
You know, I see that, and I could tell you're a person, there's no excuse for you.
Yeah.
You're just doing it.
Yeah.
You're on the go.
Yep.
When I was 23, ladies and gentlemen, I was a happy single guy. You know what I'm saying? I found my girl, and she wasn't. It's a sad story. But now I'm free. You know what I'm saying?
It's a free man.
Free man. You know, I can retire. You know what I'm saying? But that's just so cool, brother. You know, you showing that you have balance and you're really there.
Yeah.
I love it, brother. And tell us a little bit the name of your band.
Yeah. So my band is called the Crimsons. We are probably the only grunge band here in Las Vegas. I just came about that name because, you know, I like the color red. And so I came up with like an off brand of that color. So I did Crimson Red, you know, so I was like, just be called the Crimsons. And lo and behold, in 2019, we started forming, and then we were about to play our first show, and then it just kind of took a step back with COVID. So we just kept writing. I kept writing. Got a bunch of shows coming up. One today, going on at 10:30 at Double Down Saloon. But yeah, we've just been performing nonstop, and just been working hard trying to get my music out there. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's so cool, man. You know, I gotta be honest with everyone. You know me, I have not found a rock band today, this era, that really connects with me. And until my boy Chris told me, look, I have a band, you gotta come check out the show. My first time going to your show, I think it was at Soul Belly. Was it
That
Soul
was
Belly?
Red Dwarf.
Red
Yeah.
Dwarf. For those who don't know, it's by Maryland Parkway, a dope bar. It's like a tiki bar. They have
Yeah.
colorful lights, right?
Yeah, it's really cool.
And my boy was performing. Full crowd, drinks were cheap. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And I was there. And for the first time, my heart was beating. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And it was so cool. I was live. I was in there. And I was proud of my boy. That's how I knew
Yeah.
he had talent.
Yeah. Yeah. I invited David one day and came out and he saw me play. This was when I was just kind of getting at the height of my performing. So I had some pretty new songs for him to show everyone, and he was there. And after the show, he came up to me. He was like, "Dude, you're insane! Like that was crazy how fast your hands move." And yeah, I just try. My goal of my music is to write the catchiest and just simplest songs.
Right.
But they all have some meaning. Some just are regular songs, but they're really cool. And my bandmates love the songs that we play. So it's good that all my bandmates enjoy playing the songs that I write. And every song that we have I've written. I just have my drummer and my bassist. We're a 3-piece grunge band, so we're a trio, and we're trying to bring back that '90s sound, but we have our own little twist to everything. And we just been recording our album this week, so
that's huge.
Yeah.
Look at this. He has an EP. Now he's about to finish his album. This is huge. I'm telling you guys, if you want to be a rock star, an actor, whatever it is, you have to put the work and you have to do it. That's the thing.
Just got to keep pursuing.
That's it.
Got to keep going. I had some setbacks, throughout the Crimsons. How I've had them since 2019, the band, and I've had some setbacks, that made me take a break. But I kept working and I kept going, and here I am. I'm still back. Just got back on track to performing every weekend. Been putting in the work. I'm trying to release my first album. All the songs are written by me, and we're just getting back out there. We're trying to start, spreading our music, and it's been working. We've been posting on TikTok, Instagram, and our pages have been growing.
Whoa.
So we're almost at 1,000 followers on Instagram, and so we're trying to keep that going.
Okay, all right. You see, my boy, he's growing. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Now, look. So one of my favorite songs, you already know this. Yeah. My favorite song is Mistreated.
Yeah.
Great song. It's like smooth, slow, but it's like a rock song.
Yeah.
And you could tell a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings go into this.
Yeah.
What went through your mind in this song?
This song, well, I called it Mistreated, just because that was the name that popped into my head. It's a very if you listen to the lyrics, and I have them posted up on all our social medias, you can find us at the Crimsons. Just type us in and we'll pop up. We're verified. That song is just something. I was sitting there with my bandmates one day, and we were having writer's block. I was having writer's block for the first time. I usually can write a song like that. And we're just sitting there, and we're just trying to write something. About 2 hours go by. We can't figure out anything. And I'm like, and they're talking, my drummer and my former drummer and my former bass player at the time. They were just sitting there talking, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write this. So I start messing around on my guitar. As soon as I found some chords, I put together a really cool verse, lyrics, and it's nice and eerie. So it's like, it's very like, once you listen to the song, you can find those on Spotify, everywhere. You'll see it's got a nice melody to it. And then the chorus, I was sitting there they're still talking. They're still not mine. This is how I write. I mean, it'll just pop in my head. And so I'm writing, and I'm just like, okay, I finished the verse. I finished the other verse. And I'm like, okay, my goal is to make this as catchy as possible, to make this 90s sounding like Nirvana, but to make it the most catchiest song. Yeah. So I build it up. I added an extra set of chords to make it like a build up before it goes into the chorus.
Yeah.
And I I literally was sitting there and I literally just played the chorus. I just came up with the chords on the spot. And as soon as I played that, I came up with the melody in my head. I came up with the lyrics. I came up with the melody.
Whoa.
My bandmates were like, and I was like, okay, oh my God, I got a song here. So I'm like, okay, let's hear how this sounds. So I'm like, hey guys, did you guys hear that? They're like, no, what's going on? They're playing. We had a PS2 in there, so they're playing Guitar Hero. So we're sitting there, like, guys, I think I finished the song.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. And so I'm like, all right. Carlos, my former drummer at the time, I'm like, can you play this beat and then go loud when I go here?
Yeah.
And then my bass player, here, just follow me, but add your own twist to it.
Right.
They were naturals, they're pretty good, naturally going at it.
Wow.
They're good, but my new bandmates now are the best I've ever had. So we're just sitting there jamming and we start playing. We finished playing through the song. They put so much emotion into it and they're like, you wrote that just now? I'm like, yeah, I just put that together. Whoa. They're like, what? That's insane. They love it. It's one of their favorite songs it was one of their favorite songs to play. And they, I still keep in touch with those old guys, but well, everyone's got to make their own moves. So yeah. I'm making my move and I'm still going fast and moving up. And, they started their own project on the side, but, they still like the songs that I've written. And yeah, that was a great song. I know you love it.
Oh, brother. Now, I do want to share with everybody, Chris and I have hung out many times. We went out to Fremont Street. That's our favorite spot in Vegas. For those who haven't been, it's the old Las Vegas. And every weekend, I'll tell Chris, what are you doing tonight? He's like, man, I'm having a stressful day. You know what I'm saying? I said, me too.
Yes. It's like, what we need? We're going to therapy.
And it was amazing. So for those who don't know, therapy is like a bar, nightclub.
Yeah.
And it's so nice, right? They have 2 floors. Mostly reggaeton, the music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so Chris and I will look good, get it buttoned down, fix our hair, look fresh, put some spray cologne. We get there and we'll go with like a group of us. Usually it's just you, me, and Gary.
Yeah.
That's like the original
main trio.
The main trio.
Yeah.
We get there, we have fun. And I love that Chris is not afraid to dance. That's a big one. He's like, hey, that girl looks cute. You do that, I'm gonna talk to this. You know what I'm saying? And we split up. But we come back together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The cool part, I remember when we saw this girl, and I guess she came with her cousin or sister, and you danced with one, and I danced with the other.
Oh, you remember that? That was funny. That was way back. Yeah, that was a while ago, man.
Oh, well, what do you remember that night? Do you remember?
I just remember. I remember the girl took my boy's drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, Gary. And I was like, no, grab that drink. I walked to Gary. I was like, all right, Gary, we're going. Like, I was like, hey, we got to find David. Like, no. It was funny. It was a funny night. But yeah, this was last this was a while ago. This was, last year.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And my other favorite memory I have with Chris, we went to the spot called Gold Spike. You remember?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So it was about maybe 7 of us, Caden, Imani, Taylor, and Gary, Julian.
Yeah.
But
it's a fun night.
So it's all of us, right? And we're all having a good time. And one guy shows up.
We never would have thought he would have showed up. This is our boy.
Right.
He works long hours. He's got 2 jobs, but our boy showed up, Sean, and it was wild. We're all pretty messed up, and we're just, Sean shows up. We're like, oh man, he's here.
And it's so funny because all of us got dressed up like we're ready to go party and dance. Yeah. And Sean, because he's old school, he came in with shorts and a t-shirt. I don't know how they let him in the club.
He just got off work. Shorts and a t-shirt.
He just came in, really nice guy. And we all partied. The best part, remember, we took a couple shots.
Yeah.
Like, I almost forgot my name.
I forgot my name.
It was crazy. But that was a funny time. And I got to say, brother, one thing I'm proud of what we have. Yeah. So not only Chris is my friend.
Yeah.
This man, we actually done projects together.
Yeah, we worked on a lot. He actually interviewed me on his podcast for my music, and that's it was really nice of him. It was like 3 days into knowing you when I first started at Enterprise, and I was on his podcast talking about my music, and he was just asking me, the simple questions about, I've got a lot of gigs coming up like now, but it was like back then when I was playing a lot, and So it's just great. You know, he's been a good friend and he's supported my band, helped me gain followers too. Forgot to mention my Instagram handle is _LV. You can find our everything there, our shows and our page there, and you can find us anywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then it's amazing. So for those who don't know, I actually have a skit, kind of like a TV show on TikTok called Roomies with Chucky. And this show, you have basically Chucky and I are best friends.
Yeah.
We live in the same place.
Great.
We fight for the same girl, the same leftover food. You know what I'm saying? We do everything. And I do his laugh. So you know what I'm saying? This is my baby, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing everything. And then Chris, who's a Star Wars fan, by the way, ladies, sorry to break the news. And I love Star Wars.
Love Star Wars.
He can do Yoda's voice. Brother, can you do a little bit for us?
What do you want me to say?
First,
The power of the Force is strong.
Oh no. First, training day 1.
Training day 1.
Yes.
Power of the Force is strong with this one.
I hate you. So we do a collab, and it was so cool because Chucky in his universe has never met Yoda.
Yeah.
And I have 2 dolls, right?
Yep.
And it's so cool because no one on social media. I mean, the biggest competition I have is Elmo, what they have on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I got better stuff and better content because I bring Yoda
and Chucky.
Even the Three Stooges, the little dolls, remember?
Yeah.
And I bring
Barbie.
Oh, and I bring Barbie. Yeah. So it's cool because a lot of these things are relatable to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You want to share a little bit when we did the bathroom scene with
Chucky? That was a fun one that me and David, we used to get, up early and do these skits. And there was we had an idea of like doing a haunted, area, haunted building, whatever it was. And we made a little skit where Chucky's in the bathroom of one of them. It was funny because we're like in this abandoned like place and we're trying to, work our way around. And it was just fun making the video. It was cool because we opened the door and there's Chucky, and it's scary, and he just flies and attacks my boy. So we just did a lot of effects and like camera work, and it's really been fun trying to make all these videos with you. It's just been a great time, and it's all a process, but they come together and they're really funny.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah.
And please, guys, check them out. They're on Yakov 28 on TikTok. It's amazing. I finally reached 45 episodes. It's huge.
Yep.
Every Thursday in the morning. So it's huge. It's huge. Now, brother, I do want to, pick at your brain a little bit.
All right.
So talking about, going out, talked about music. Who is your inspiration when it comes out to music? Like what are like maybe 3 bands or even guitarists that really I basically gave you that spark, that light that you wanted to do music?
Okay. So I've explored many genres of music. I love all old rock music. I love just about it. I've listened to all sorts of music. But when I first started music in 2018, so I formed my band after 1 year, and not even 6 months. And I just learned a couple chords and I was able to start writing songs. My biggest inspirations were, at first, it was like Jimi Hendrix playing guitar. I watched him. He's crazy how fast his hands move. I just, I couldn't do that early on, but I loved Jimi Hendrix. And I started digging deep into guitar playing. And then I found the music that I really started to get interested into was 90s grunge, which is an offset of metal and punk, but it's like right in the middle. I loved it because it's catchy. It's catchy and appealing to many people, and it was a big movement, short-lived. Sadly, it died quick, but I'm trying to bring that back. So my favorite band of that era was Nirvana.
Whoa.
And I'm not talking about, their most popular stuff that everyone listens to. I've gone back and found their demos. I found the songs they only performed live. I found all the songs that, they didn't play that much, and I love it. I love the raspiness of the voice, the screams, the catchiness of those screams, and just overall simple chords. Overall, I loved how there was no structure to the soloing.
Whoa.
There was no structure. It wasn't in key. So that's what made me really love Nirvana. And it was just so catchy. So most famous album. Nevermind was just the best one I've ever, worked on. So that was one band, and then another one was Black Sabbath. So those three.
Wow.
Black Sabbath was probably my favorite too.
That's amazing. Well, guys, real quick, we're going to take a commercial break because I forgot to pay my phone bill, but we'll get back with you, okay?
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chief.
And I'm Aaron, and together we are
Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time.
right here on WWDBTV Network and all the shows that are available for you to watch. And why is that?
Because the chief says so.
Hello, everybody. We're back. I finally paid my phone bill. I was 2 months off. I'm sorry. I had to hurry up and said, I need to get it paid. Please, please, please.
He was like Roadrunner out there.
Yeah. I got a little scared. My palms were heavy. My spaghetti.
Knees weak.
So I'm back with your special guest, Chris, your boy Yakov. What it do? This is amazing. Now, brother, go back to that story you were saying, how Black Sabbath, that's where we left off.
Yeah, so lastly with Nirvana, I just love that band. But the last band that really made me just get into, that catchiness of vocals and stuff was Black Sabbath. And that band is very influential as they were the first metal band in 1970. Yeah. I was collecting a lot of records and tapes at the time. And so this is when I was discovering some, other music. And my parents had this music. And, I listened to it growing up. I just never knew the names. And Black Sabbath was just insane. Like, I heard Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath off their first album, Black Sabbath. Whoa. And I was like, imagine 1970, you're hearing this. It was such a heavy song. But you could hear, like, where grunge got its form right there. That song, the heavy, sludgy, like, nice rock. And it's so cool. So that's the last influential band that I give credit to.
That's so cool, man. Now you talking about old school, band.
Yeah.
You're not talking about Green Day or Nickelback. You're talking about like the originals.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna pick at your brain real quick before I ask you a little bit more questions.
All right.
But I think you're gonna like this.
All right.
I'm gonna name 2 songs. I'm gonna try to do the voice, and I want you to figure out who sang it and what artist.
Okay.
See how good you are, right?
All right.
So the part goes, "Hey teacher, leave those kids alone."
Pink Floyd.
Oh man, he got me with the thing, with the right hook. Okay, I got one more. I don't know if you're ready for this. Let's see, because I'm a little older than you, so we'll see if you really studied the music.
All right.
Okay, it goes like this. She got a smile.
Sweet Child O' Mine.
Oh, who sings it?
Guns N' Roses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brother, you have passed.
Yeah.
You did your homework.
I did my homework.
I love it. Now, okay, so that's amazing, brother. I'm shocked, ladies and gentlemen. But look at this. I want to ask you, what's the biggest accomplishment that you have done for the Crimson?
So some of my biggest accomplishments, there's a lot. I mean, performing just every weekend is a big accomplishment. And that was probably it's one of the biggest. But some that are my biggest accomplishments are actually happening next month. I am performing at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood, which is crazy. This is where Jimi Hendrix once stood on this stage. Jim Morrison and the Doors stood on this stage. Guns N' Roses stood on this stage. You name it. Every Motley Crue started out here. You name it. So me and my band have booked 3 gigs here. So we are playing there on the 21st, the 28th in Hollywood at the Whiskey A Go-Go, and then in July we're coming back. and we're opening up for some big bands like that were, that have pretty good following. So we're excited. We're really, working hard, practicing every 2 to 3 times a week, working at it. So we're just getting ready for that. So that, I would say, is my biggest accomplishment. Outside of that is performing at First Friday here locally in town, which was a big festival. And some others just playing some house shows. Some house shows got really cool, big. Wow. So, all the music. And I just love seeing that people love the music that I'm writing, and they're dancing to it. They're, opening up a mosh pit, That's my biggest accomplishment. And I've smashed, 3 guitars at these shows. I've smashed guitars at some of the shows I've played at. We've stood out because no band has done that here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Smashing their equipment.
That's crazy. I do want to say, I've seen something that makes you stand out when you perform live.
Yeah.
Please explain this in the most scientific, or I can't even comprehend how you did it. So, ladies and gentlemen, when he performs, he has his guitar, he's singing, and his feet, I don't know what to call it. It's a skateboard. Yeah. It's a skateboard, ladies and gentlemen. Explain that skateboard.
So it's crazy. What's also crazy is I'm left-handed too, so I'm like one of the few lefties in the local scene here, in those local bands here, that's left-handed. Whoa. So my pedal board is what you call it.
There you go.
So that's the name. So there you go. FYI.
Thank you.
So, I didn't have a lot of money to go buy a $70, $80 board and then have to go buy pedals, So, or, make sure they stay on, because the pedal boards now, they're like this, you can buy a small one, you can buy a big one. But mine, I used to skateboard when I was younger, and I still skateboard, time to time, but boy's getting old, so knees weak. I can't do it no more. So I was like, you know what? I think this would be a very grungy thing to do, very 90s, is take a skateboard and I'll put all my pedals on it. So I just bought 2 packs of Velcro for like $5. Velcroed all my pedals on the board, on the skateboard. And I have plugs, where it just connects them all, one outlet, plug it in, boom, there's my pedal board. Everyone that has seen me play is like, he's got his pedals on a skateboard, they'll be like, holy, and they think it's the coolest thing, because no one has done that. No one, even famous, put their pedals on a skateboard. Whoa. I mean, you might think some early punk bands, but I haven't seen anything like it.
Wow.
So I put my pedals on a skateboard just because that's what I needed at the time. That's all I had at the time.
Yeah.
And it works. I got my distortion pedals. I got my, reverb and delay pedals. And so I use that, and people love it. They think it's so cool that I stand out like that. Left-handed for one. And for two, I got my pedals on a skateboard,
Wow.
And they just love it. So it's great. I love it.
Now, the crazy part, ladies and gentlemen, Chris is Colombian doing grunge music.
Yeah.
This is huge, like having a skateboard, pedal board that's a skateboard, my boy singing, playing guitar, breaking the guitar, and he's Colombian.
Yeah.
This is shocking, because for a lot of people that don't know, the Latino community is growing.
Yeah.
I think you're making a wave for the Latinos that want to do grunge music.
Yeah.
I think it's huge. And it's all in English, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. It's like
everyone should go for what they like. They shouldn't be scared. You shouldn't keep it, centered just because you're, Latino, or whatever race you are.
Right.
I was just, I was adopted from Colombia and adopted into a good family. And, I grew up listening to what they liked and overall enjoying what they liked. And, that became part of who I am to be today. And, I was like, I'm going to pursue grunge music. I think I would be best fit for that. I tried the other ones. I could do it, but I think I really have a natural talent for writing grunge music. So I went after it, and here I am.
Wow.
As probably the only grunge band in Las Vegas. Real sounding grunge band. Like, actually like 90s, like sounding like Nirvana, if Nirvana continued. Yeah.
Whoa, this is crazy. This is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, my heart's beating still. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe it.
Sharon having a heart attack.
Right. But look, Chris, I gotta tell you something. So I wanna, for the, I have a few, like a game. I want to play a little game.
Okay.
So the audience, this is what usually Aaron Phillip does. He did it with me 2 weeks ago.
All right.
Where he asked a few questions that your audience don't know about you. So I'm going to pick at your brain.
Okay.
See if you get it right.
All right.
Oh, and there's no right or wrong. My bad.
All
This
right.
is your answer that the people don't know. So
All right.
I want to ask, what is your favorite dinner that if you could make? What would it be?
Favorite dinner? Oh, it's a hard one, but I gotta go give a shout out to my grandma. She taught me her spaghetti and meatballs recipe. That Italian recipe has been so my adopted family. I call them my family because I've been with them for so long. But my grandma, you know, she's Italian and had this recipe. She got it taught by her mom and then her mom before that. So this recipe's been passed down, and grandma finally taught one boy how to make it. And yeah, so spaghetti and meatballs. If I could cook it, if I could make it, nice Italian style spaghetti and meatballs.
You let me know. I'll come over.
Yeah. I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you, brother. But look, this is so cool. And here's something else I think people don't know about you.
Yeah.
Tell us any memory that you could share, maybe like a movie, right? Well, let's talk about movies first.
Okay.
What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is The Goonies. So I have a tattoo of The Goonies on my arm. So that's my favorite movie. It's just really, it appealed to me as a kid. I've always been an adventurous kid, so I love that movie. So, you know, kid adventure movies are awesome. Like you go on a trip, you go on an adventure, you gotta go find treasure. Like that sounds so fun as a 13, 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, my dad first showed me that. So that's my favorite movie. I even got a tattoo of it. You know, it's just a great movie, and it's almost what I wanted to do is like be an archaeologist later on too. Steven Spielberg, shout out to him.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, if we talk about Star Wars,
Yeah.
from the original Star Wars, we're not talking about the new stuff that's
we're
come out.
talking about the original.
Yeah,
The
A
OGs.
New Hope, all that original during when Luke was around, Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker and what's her name, Leia,
And Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Who shot first?
And Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
What out of those three movies, right, that came out, episode 4, 5, and 6, which one was your favorite and why?
Okay, you know, give credit to A New Hope. That was a great one. You know, just to introduce the whole legacy of Star Wars. I think, you know, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg did great on that. But my favorite is Return of the Jedi with the little Ewoks, you know, running around in the forest, and just overall that, you know, where Luke is a Jedi. He's got the green lightsaber.
Wow.
And overall, it's just great. I love how, you know, that movie is. It's just my favorite. You know, I love the different planets they go on, the dialogue, you know, everything about that movie is just my favorite.
Wow.
So I just like green. I guess when I saw him on like the VHS covers, I was like, that one's cool. So, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. You know, I gotta say, you know, with Star Wars, right? I'm a big fan of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I gotta say the most iconic scene and most powerful dialogue is when Darth Vader is walking with his son,
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker, and Luke says, I know the truth.
Yeah.
You know, you are my father, but I know there's good in you.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know the line
paraphrasing.
by
Yeah,
line.
Yeah.
But he says, I know there's good in you. And Darth Vader says, Obi-Wan once said that too.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Giving goosebumps, man.
Oh,
That
man.
was
Oh,
so great. Such a
I'll
great
tell you, the
movie.
force is strong.
The Force is
You know what I'm
strong.
saying? But I think that it's so iconic because think about it, you know, Darth Vader, right? One of the most strongest Jedis of all times,
Yeah.
right?
It's crazy because they didn't even know that yet.
Right.
When that came out.
Yeah.
Like George Lucas already had it mapped out. Like they put 4, 5, 6, but no one was. They were like, he was a Jedi at one point. Like,
right.
he was Luke's dad. Wait, what? And so no one knew the story before that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it's just amazing how they did that and how George Lucas thought, let's do 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3, and now we're going back 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
You know.
And the crazy thing is that, you know, with that scene, right? Like I said,
Mhm.
you know, with Star Wars, the classics,
Yeah.
you know, that father and son relationship,
Yeah.
it's so relatable.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I feel so connected because I didn't have a father growing up.
Yeah.
And when I got to see my father the one last time, like during the pandemic,
Yeah.
after 15 years not seeing him, and I saw him, I felt like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Because I told my father, kind of like what Luke told
Yeah.
his father.
They're still good.
You know, there's something there, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just so powerful. It's so powerful because
Oh yeah.
you look at it, you know, Anakin Skywalker, who happens to be Darth Vader,
which is, no one knew that.
no one knew that, right?
Wild.
He was the chosen one to bring balance to the Force, right?
Yeah.
To destroy the Emperor.
Yeah.
How crazy is this that we had Luke Skywalker changing his father's heart at last minute, kills the Emperor, right?
Yep.
And brought balance to the Force.
Brought balance. Yep.
It was like it wasn't meant to be when he was a Jedi.
Yeah.
It was until his son showed him the light that he needed.
And it really showed that Luke was the balance to the Force.
Yeah.
You know, Anakin was supposed to be, but you know, he let the hate get too strong in him, and you know.
Yeah.
But Luke, I think, saved him at the end. So like, I probably gave him a sense of peace towards the end. You know, he was sitting there, you know, on the steps. I remember.
Right.
And my dad remembers telling me about that scene. He saw it in movie theaters. It was just wild, like the reaction of everyone in the theater. He's like, I remember seeing it in 1977 when it came out. You know, that movie came out in 1985, 83.
Wow.
But my dad remembers seeing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Man, this is crazy. Now, I gotta say, brother, what do you think about 6, 7, 8, not 6, 7, 8? Yeah. 7, 8, and 9.
So
honest opinion.
So 7 was Force Awakens, right?
Yeah.
With Rey. Yeah. So like they're you know, J.J. Abrams did an okay job. You know, I mean, I feel like if our boys Steven Spielberg and George Lucas still did it, it would be way better. They probably would have thought of something way better.
Yeah.
They were good, you know, overall, in my personal opinion. But, you know, just the classics. 1, 2, I thought the prequels were better.
Yeah.
You know, the prequels, like, you know, you had Liam Neeson and you had Ewan McGregor is like my favorite. You know, he's played such a great Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, it's great. And so I think those are better, 1, 2, and 3. 6, 7, or 7, 8, 9, you know, they're okay. You know, they're just not like as appealing as the other ones.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm an adult now and watching them, you know, when I was a kid watching that, like I was like, wow, you know, so prequels came out when I was a kid, like when I was small.
Yeah.
So just watching, because I remember when, what was it, Revenge of the Sith, when they're fighting episode 3.
Yeah.
Or no, that was
Wait, which one?
Episode 3, the famous Luke Skywalker and or famous Anakin and Obi-Wan battle.
Oh yeah, that's the best
3.
one. Episode 3, yeah.
So I just remember seeing that as a kid, and it was like, whoa, that was like the coolest. The lava's going in there fighting, like, yeah, I have the high ground. I loved you.
All right, well, look, man, I'm really happy you're here. Great story.
Yep.
Great man, guys. Please follow Chris, the Crimson, the lead singer. This is amazing. Brother, real quick, where can our fans find you?
The Crimsons _LV. That's for TikTok, Instagram, and you can find our music on Spotify and everywhere else.
And guys, this is the Aaron Hour Show. Real quick, you guys can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and also Roku. And real quick, guys, your boy Yakov, it was an honor to be on this show.
You're coming back.
And I'll be back soon. You know, I just gotta.
We're just taking a break.
Oh, we're taking a commercial break. All right, thank you, brother. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD, ADHD, pain, inflammation, dealing with mental or physical health issues, or know someone who is? Relax, refresh, recover, revive. Natural health alternatives using hemp-derived CBD and other cannabinoids found in hemp are increasingly becoming more effective in managing various symptoms that affect your body, state of mind, and daily life. Planet Harvest Health's mission is to help those looking for natural, new, and better solutions for a healthier way of life, specializing in small batch, handcrafted alternatives, providing higher quality and a cost-effective product. Go to planetharvesthealth.com for more information and education.
Hey everybody, I am Aaron Phillips. You are?
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDBTV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
Guys, I'm back. I'm sorry about that, man. I thought I had
got
to
a little
go,
confused.
but yeah, I forgot. I got a lot of people calling me. Frank, Billy, Harry. So I'm all
Larry.
back. Yeah.
Curly.
Curly. You know what I'm saying? But we're back. We're back, ready for action. My boy, he was just talking about Star Wars. Welcome back, Chris.
Yeah.
Your boy Yakov, what it do? So I gotta ask you, brother. Cartoon. It's been big growing
Yeah.
up, right? You
Yeah.
remember we had SpongeBob SquarePants.
Hey Arnold, everything.
You already know.
Yeah.
The classic. This is what I grew up in.
Yep.
So what was your favorite cartoon show? And like, can you remember an episode that really stuck to you?
Stuck to me. So my favorite cartoon, I have a lot of favorite cartoons. Cartoon Network was the channel that I liked most of all. But Nickelodeon still had, awesome shows like SpongeBob, Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, you name it. Drake and Josh, Drake and Josh, the sitcoms. But my favorite was Cartoon Network, and I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog. And it's crazy, I love watching cartoons still to this day. They finally put them on HBO Max.
Oh, wow.
And so now you're able to watch them. So I went back and I've been rewatching all the cartoons again. Regular Show, Misadventures of Flapjack, Chowder, everything, Ed, Ed, and Eddie. And Courage was one of my favorite that I loved watching. I go back and watch it, man. It's crazy how scary it was.
Yeah.
Like how messed up. Like I watch this now. I'm like, we watched this as like 5, 7, 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's pretty messed up. But it's funny. It's cool. And the animation is just amazing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
One episode I remember, I don't know if you remember,
Let me see.
but it's with they accidentally dig up this slab, the Egyptian slab. And it brings like a curse, and there's a ghost from like Egypt, it looks like, going, return the slab. Bro, I watched that. I was so scared. I remember watching that when I was younger, and I forgot about it. I made sure to forget about it, and I watched it later on, and I was like, wow, oh my God, this is why I didn't watch. This is why I stopped watching the show after so many years. It was just scary.
Wow.
I was like 65 or 6 years old watching that. That's wild.
Oh, man.
But all the cartoons, Cartoon Network had made some amazing shows. Like overall, just the whole production, the animation.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon made some too. SpongeBob's still going today.
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
I mean, that came out when I was born.
Yeah.
99. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I'm going to be honest, for me, Courage the Cowardly Dog was definitely the scariest anime cartoon. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I used to be up all night. It came on like late, like 6 p.m., 7 p.m.,
8, yeah.
and I was like,
watch.
I
Heart
was
racing,
scared.
like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to sleep.
Right. And it was so scary. And I do remember that. I think it's interesting how, he lived in this really haunted house, kind of,
Yeah.
with two people, right? And they were just like,
The grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they were just in like the middle of nowhere, they called it.
Yeah.
And all these weird stuff happening.
Right.
And what's crazy, dude, you know how in the opening credits, Courage is working them as puppets?
Yeah.
You remember that?
I've totally forgot.
So there's in the beginning of like, when they play the, this is the Courage the Cow, the dog show. And it's
Thank you
a
very
ton
much.
to it. Thank you. I'm here all week. So, he was working them as puppets. I think the dog went crazy. And I think they actually, there's an old folklore behind it that they died, but the dog went so crazy. He was trying to keep them alive. It was just why there's such like with these old cartoons, man, they just like, there's some really cool like theories behind them.
Yeah.
What happens.
Even like you got me thinking about the Simpsons. They predicted so many things
I
that
know,
were going to
it's
happen in the
crazy.
future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Simpsons predicted so much
You
stuff,
know?
and they're still predicting stuff.
For
like,
real.
Episodes that came out years ago,
Yeah.
like 2000s,
Right.
90s, 80s. It came out in the 80s, so
It's crazy.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Who was your favorite character from The Simpsons?
Simpsons, I like Bart. Bart was funny, and what's crazy, what blew my mind is that was voiced by a girl. It was voiced by a girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She did it.
She did the voice of Bart, which is I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And but Bart was like my favorite character. I love he skated. He was just like,
Right.
rowdy kid. It was great. So
Oh, man.
yeah. What about you? What was your favorite character?
I say it's a tie with Bart and Homer.
Homer's funny.
Yeah. And I remember this. You remember the little two side characters that Itchy and Scratchy
Scratchy,
Show?
Itchy and- yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I love that. I love
that's
that
funny.
part. But you know, Homer, I feel like Homer is now me
Yeah.
because I love donuts and I love bagels. You already know that.
Yeah, my boy, every morning.
Every morning.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Right. I remember when I used to go in the morning and I'll see my boy Chris, and I said, Chris, you want to get some bagels or donuts? He's like, no, dude, I'm trying to lose weight. I stay away from bread. I said, bro, come on. And so I'll eat the bread. And I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen, my shirt did get tight. You know what I'm saying? I try to hold it, you know what I'm saying? But it's just so good. And I think Homer, he shows like,
It's okay to be who you are.
yeah, honestly, if
Do
you
what
like
you
to
want.
eat,
You like to eat?
eat. If you want to sleep, sleep. And I gotta admit, Homer got a pretty wife. She's tall. And Chris knows I only date tall women.
Yep.
They have to be 6'2" or 5'11", tall. No matter who they are, they gotta be tall. Because I like them tall.
Yeah.
Because I like to crawl. You already know. But anyways, it just I gotta say I love this show. Amazing.
Yeah, it's just overall great. There was one. You remember the episode where he's at the control board at the nuclear power plant?
Oh,
And he's like, he's reading the instructions. He's like, to start, press any key. And he's like, where's any key? And that was so funny. I just laughed and I was
man.
like, wow,
It's
it's just so funny.
classic.
Classic
Now,
show.
now we gotta talk about horror films, right?
Yeah, all right.
I'm a big horror guy, guys.
Same here.
My
Love
boy too. I'm a big Chucky fan. You already know I love the Chucky franchise. Brother, what is your favorite iconic horror villain?
Villain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or name
fa-
two. Name two. You can say two.
Okay, I like
It's
Chucky.
okay.
You know, Chucky's cool. You know, he's a doll trying to kill people. It's kind of funny.
Right.
You know, that's probably scary in the 80s, you know, seeing a little little guy run around. But my favorite is Jason. Probably Jason from what is that? Friday the 13th? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Camp Crystal Lake in our hometown in Chicago. But it was just great. You know, I love Jason and Friday the 13th, and it'd just be cool, you know. Thought Freddy Krueger was okay, but you know, he attacked the mind, you know, Jason's immortal.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it'd be cool to see, like, you know, I like Chucky. Chucky's cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And which one from the franchise of Jason is your favorite?
Franchise of Jason?
Yeah, like the second film,
the
the third,
first one.
The first one?
I love the first one.
Oh wow.
Yep, start.
Perfect.
Yeah, it helped me just like that really, like when I first saw that at like 7 years old,
Yeah.
it just helped me get into horror movies.
Wow.
I loved it. So yeah.
That's
And I
amazing.
just dug deep, and there's some new ones today that are really good, like The Conjuring.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
it's scary. You know, first saw that, I was like, oh my God, another doll.
Right. Big clap.
So, you know, clapping it wasn't right. It's just like right by.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't sleep.
Right. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, look, guys, I'm gonna take another break. I gotta talk to my girl. Tell her I'll call her later, and I'll catch you later. Thank you, guys.